All right. Welcome everybody to the Previously Anxious podcast.
And welcome back if you're a subscriber.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, let's just get straight into it.
Let's get straight into it.
We just wanted to share with you guys some of... Are you good?
I am then.
We just wanted to share with you guys some of our recent media favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is cool because we're people who like to talk about our interests.
Yeah. Well,
especially the things that we like in the media.
Especially things that we like, and like we are big movie watchers,
Yeah.
we're big TV show watchers. Mm-hmm. We consume media. That's what we do.
We're media consumers. We're big readers.
Mm-hmm.
I count that as media.
You might as well.
Yeah, because and then you read a lot of The Cut. You love a good article.
I love a good article.
And you love journalistic integrity.
I love it down.
Yeah. So yes, and I love a good book. And we also love a good album. So yes, we're into it all. We're into it all.
Mm-hmm.
The first one that I can think of straight off the bat, Bhad Bhabie. Oh my gosh. I don't know when this episode is going to come out.
Yeah.
So it might be old news, and I'm not just saying it for it to be old or new news.
Yeah.
That's something, I'm not going to say that we're the proudest of it. But what I will say is that it's been living rent-free in our heads specifically.
It popped up on my algorithm one Friday night, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, this kind of...
We don't even be in... that side of
it found us.
It never found us. And it found us on that fateful day.
Yeah.
And she might have devoured.
Yeah, she kind of did. No, she really did.
No, like...
She did. I don't know.
Even if you don't care about it, it was funny, to say the least.
No, I'm like, not even in the lore, but at the same time, I'm like, this kind of goes crazy.
It goes crazy.
She did her big one.
She did her big one. And also, like, it was one of the best laughs I've had in a minute.
Yeah.
You know, like what she was saying, the music video, the whole thing. Like, that was funny.
Yeah, it was. It was a good one.
I love a funny diss.
I love a funny diss. It was a hoot. I don't care what happens after that. I don't care about the back and forth.
Yeah, no.
She did her big one with that, and I think it's over.
That's all I had to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 8. Devoured. That's it.
Yeah, she finished it right there.
Yeah. And so, moving forward,
you want to speak musically or move to movies, or what do you want to do?
I feel like movies and TV shows, only because we have more similar ones on those. Yeah. And then I feel like we can just go back and forth with like books we've been reading. But TV shows, industry.
Oh my gosh. So I put Leah on to Industry.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, it's a show on HBO.
Yeah.
Based in the UK. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It is really good, guys. Oh my gosh.
No, that's an amazing show.
It's really good.
One thing about it, the second season had me tight, and I couldn't... I don't know. If you watch the show, you know that... What is her name on that show?
Harper.
Harpsichord? Oh my gosh. First of all, wait, let's rewind for a second.
Yeah.
This TV show Lost.
Yeah.
Me and Mom recently watched Lost.
Funny.
No, for the first time.
Yeah.
That super old TV show from like 2005.
Yeah.
And freaking Eric from Industry was one of like the villains in the Lost TV show.
Mm-hmm.
So now seeing him on this, I'm like, I see him
as a villain.
I mean, he's a villain on this show too, but like he was a villain then. Harpsichord.
Yeah.
Harper made me so mad in that second season. Like, no spoilers, honestly, because I don't think a lot of people have watched Industry. Maybe now, but
it depends. It depends on what side of like
what side of the internet you're on.
Yeah.
But basically, it's about like a whole bunch of young adults that get hired to work at this bank in the UK. It's like a very hard job to get into. And then they get into it and everyone's like doing coke and like being malicious and secretive, and everyone's trying to one up each other. So it's like such a hard like work environment.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be kind of true to like that work environment. Like
allegedly, yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of those banks that like only deal with rich people. So the stress is on. Like you have to bring clients in, everyone's backstabbing each other, all that's happening. My problem is that some of the characters, I love a good backstab. I love when characters give drama, but I can't stand when people start self-sabotaging.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like that for a full season.
Yeah, well.
You know, it's like, okay, you did something that didn't work out for you for 1 episode, 2 episodes, but like, I don't want to see you be depressed or be like, oh, I'm just going to say F everybody and do my own thing for like a full season. I don't care.
Yeah, no, it definitely starts to get to a point where I'm just like, this isn't fun anymore.
This isn't fun.
Like it's not fun for you and it's not fun for
no,
me.
your character just sucks. Like,
But also her character does just kind of suck.
it does just kind of, it's the same way that a lot of people were like done with Rue.
I was one of those people.
Yeah. When it comes to Euphoria, like people were just tired of seeing her constantly like,
honestly, like unpopular opinion, but I think that people are way sorry, some news. I think people are way more like inclined to watch a male narcissist on TV than a female narcissist. This isn't necessarily fully relevant to what you're saying.
No, and you might have ate that. No, I had to think for a second.
Yeah, because I think like when it comes to like Rue, when it comes to like Harper, I feel like they are, in my opinion, narcissists.
Yeah.
And I feel like people have way less tolerance for problematic women.
Yeah.
And that's also just because it's not something that was like fed to the masses.
But I also think it's something that women like that we're not used to, not just in the media, but like even in real life. I feel like 9 times out of 10, you've met a male narcissist.
That's so
you
true.
know, not everyone, some people's mothers are narcissists, but like not a lot of people have the experience of knowing a female narcissist. I don't know. This might be misandry. Maybe I just can't stand men.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's easier to meet a man that you can't stand than like me for that
That's
specific
because
reason.
the world is like,
I think because men
telling
are
them
like bred to be narcissists.
They kind of are. Whereas women, you have to fight to be that way. Or genuinely, there's something psychologically.
No, like it's true mental illness.
It's
because
true mental
the odds were stacked against you.
Yeah.
Like,
and
you
yet
came out that
you
way,
came out of it super overly confident.
overly confident in a way that just doesn't usually happen.
100%. And I think,
But honestly, I don't like watching that either.
I don't like watching any form of narcissism. I think it's very triggering for me.
Or like self-depreciating.
I'm not very interested. So I feel like, at least with industry, I watch it for everyone that's not Harper. Or also, I just watch it 'cause it's a good show.
Everyone else on the show started getting on my nerves.
Well,
too.
you will enjoy this 3rd season.
Nobody was.
She hasn't seen the 3rd season yet. I'm going to force her to watch it after this, literally. Because anybody who's watched the show knows that the 3rd season is the best one.
Yeah.
That's just a fact.
I mean, I bet. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the 1st season they were focused on all the characters, and then they started focusing only on her. The 2nd season, I was done with it.
Yeah, and the characters that they brought in, like Jesse Bloom and all, like I just feel like it wasn't enough.
I was like the black guy that she ends up like sleeping with.
Yeah, and then doing so slimy.
Yeah,
She did.
no, because I forgot what happened to him.
Yeah.
Whoa. But anyways,
Check it out.
Industry, great show. Squid Games. Well, Squid Game.
Y'all, let me tell you something. I really knew that they were going to bring it. Well, in the 2nd season.
I was scared.
Oh, I knew they was
No,
bring it.
like I felt like how could you top the 1st season of Squid Game? Like there is not. And then I'm like, we've already like we know that the games are just killing people. Like, what's the shock factor?
Yeah.
there, you know, like nothing's gonna shock us. This not only are the games different in the best way. The one where they're like tied together and they have to walk together. That was
so
like,
hard. That was so.
Oh, that
the
was
games
so
were harder. I think
the games
this time.
were definitely harder.
They were harder this time.
Harder. But it's like I was thinking the characters, like I was so attached to the characters from the 1st season. There's no way I'm going to even care about these characters. Dare I say I like the characters in the 2nd season?
Oh, the characters in the 2nd season are 10 times
more
better
than the characters in the 1st season.
I have a way stronger connection.
Yeah.
I feel like the characters on the 2nd season,
You know the people's backstory on the 1st season too, and they do have like deep stories, but it's just like I don't know. The 2nd season, I just feel more.
I think on the 1st season, you were more interested in their cause. Like, I think it was people who really wanted to feed their families. There were people who lost it all. It was more of like why they're here versus the 2nd season. F all that. I like the actual characters better.
Yeah,
like
I like their backstories and I like their personalities. I feel like they might not be trying to get the money for like
the best reason
the best
ever.
reasons,
Exactly.
but like love them down.
Love them down. Like I'm not really focused that much on their backstory, honestly. At least for me, I feel like the ones on the 2nd season.
The only one who they keep getting into her backstory, who she's absolutely diabolical, the defector, the North Korean woman, that fled from North Korea and left her baby, and now for some reason
she wants to blame
everybody else's problem.
Yes,
it's so crazy. No, now all of a sudden she has to like kill people in this game to make herself feel better. Wild times.
Yeah, I can't stand her.
Yeah.
It's real. The ones in the second season were way more selfish. Hence the fact that they were like, hey, do you guys want to get out of this game? Like, they're giving them an option to vote after every single game, and everybody's still like, wait, but we can get. And no, dare I say this? I'll definitely say I feel like the second season leaned into the addiction of like gambling.
Yeah, the even with the episode that's just about the guy who slaps people.
Yeah.
How he like went to that park and was like, do you want like food or do you want like
mine?
Do you want food or do you want money kind of thing? Like,
I want you.
I want you. Yeah, like it definitely is leading more into like, are people inherently bad and like greedy, or can people be good? Like, is that our nature or whatever?
Yeah.
But y'all, let me tell you about one character, and like y'all already know. Player 120, and I think that's her number.
Yeah.
I hope that it's her number. I'm pretty sure it is. Queen. Queen with the bangs and the bob.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honey. She is why I'm watching this show.
She was the best part of the second season.
She was the best part of the
season.
Season. She just like, not only even the way that she's good with shooting people up. I wasn't expecting that. She is just that girl.
She's the most versatile. She's really well-rounded.
She's well-rounded. She's versatile.
Might be the strongest player in the game.
The strongest player, but also she's a leader with her team of dudes. She was leading everyone.
Yeah, she stayed calm. Yeah.
Until she slapped that woman that like...
That needed to be done.
That needed to be done.
Yeah. Because that woman wasn't being calm.
She wasn't. No, she wasn't. Her and the freaking pregnant girl. I do like the pregnant girl down. I like her. Her with her vicious baby daddy.
Yeah. I only like her because I want her away from her.
I want her away from her man, but also their bickering back and forth is funny.
It is. It's pretty.
But I do like the person she's becoming. When she first joined the game, I was like, but now that she's like friends with everybody there, I'm like, okay, like Queen, I love you too. The mom and her son. Terrible child.
Oh my gosh, y'all. Why did he do his mom so dirty like that?
He did his mom so dirty.
That was so bad.
Just forget the son.
Yeah.
The mom is a real one.
I don't like the mom that much either, though. I know this might just be like whatever, but I can't stand women who take up for their horrible sons. And hey, vice versa. Yeah. I can't stand any parent that's just no.
But I mean, at least she's not letting him be horrible to other people.
Yeah.
I think she can't accept the fact that her son like is so greedy that he would put her life on the line for some money. But at least she won't let him like. It's not like the guy
put everybody else on the line too when he voted to stay in the game.
He did, but she cussed him out after that.
Yeah,
she was yelling at him. I'm saying it's not like he's like the vicious baby daddy.
Yeah.
He diabolical. I can't wait for him to die.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, no, same.
And then of course the villains, the guy who like. Whose face I can't stand, who was a villain on another Korean show that we watched.
Oh, yeah.
The one who hangs out with Thanos. So annoying. Thanos himself was also a highlight in this.
Yeah, he was. He did a really good job. He brought
really
the energy.
Funny, and he brought great energy. Loved him down.
Yeah, he was good. He was good. Good addition.
Great addition. Yeah. Oh, and last one. The military one who lied about being in the military.
I see online that everybody has a soft spot for this man.
Everyone
I don't have that
for some reason.
Yeah.
No, he's a liar.
Yeah, he's a liar, and he literally got all the other part of the team killed. I'm not sure.
I mean, like he was putting people's lives in danger.
With?
I'm not sure.
Why did he lie and say that he was in the military and he's never held a gun in his life?
He's never. I don't feel sympathy for that. Like people were like, "Dang, you can tell like he was pressured by his family." Okay.
They're going to have to give way more to the story before I mean,
that has nothing to do. Everyone else in the game has had a hard life, too. Like, literally, player 120.
Why did he volunteer to go get the ammo when he knew that he wasn't about it?
He literally didn't come back. That was a mess. Oh, but we are spoiling it, but whatever. I mean, you should have watched it by now.
You should have seen it.
I hope player 120 lives her best life in Thailand.
I hope she makes it, yeah.
She better not die.
If they kill her off, I'm
not playing.
Sending my hate mail.
I hope that she makes it to Thailand to live her best life.
Yeah, me too.
What? I'm an ally.
Yeah, when her homegirl died, I mean, that was cinematic excellence.
And that's what she was. She was her homegirl. She was her sister.
Yeah.
For the people who are saying they had a romantic relationship. That
just stop being wrong.
Yeah.
Stop being wrong. That's not what the creators intended.
No.
They never hinted to anything of that sort.
No.
Which is why she was calling her Onni. Like, I feel like make it make sense. She wasn't calling her babe.
Come on now.
She would, because I mean, that happens.
We saw like romance in the first.
We saw it in the first
with
one, yeah.
the two girls playing the marbles. We saw like that was what a romantic connection looked like. That's what it looked like for them to be like they had that trust, that build. That was more than friends.
Yeah.
These two, not only with the huge age gap, they are giving big sister, younger sister,
yeah.
not even friends. That was just weird. People commenting that was giving me incest.
Yeah, y'all are getting incestual. That's really weird.
Anyways, that was a good show.
Squid Game.
We might not drag it on, but Bloodhounds was a good show.
Oh my gosh, y'all, that was one of the best shows I saw.
You just have to watch that show. I don't even think we can.
It is so good. I can't put it into words. I mean, it's not even, I don't even want to say like if you like fighting, because this just takes it to another level.
Yeah.
Everything about this show is
It's
good.
on Netflix.
It's on Netflix and it has no romance. So if you want to watch like a K-drama with no romance, tap into this show, and it just got renewed for a second season.
Yes.
So
we love that. And it's some fine people on that show, y'all. It's some fine men on that show. Okay.
Gosh, fine shit on that show for real.
It's on that show for real.
Oh my gosh. Woo! So good. It's just so good.
All of them. Sorry. Excuse me. There's 3 fine men on that.
There are 3?
There's 3.
Who's the third one, you think? She said, who do you think? It's like before I expose myself.
The older guy with the knives.
Of course, you would think he's fine.
You don't think he's fine?
He's good looking. He's handsome.
He is fine.
I gotta go back and look.
There's no other word for that. The one with the knives that worked at the
I know that worked at the sushi spot. I wasn't thinking nothing. I was too blinded by the young blood in the front.
Yeah, come on now.
Come on.
Oh, you're good.
I don't know about all that.
You're tripping. And then we watched this documentary yesterday. You showed it to me.
Oh, yes.
Brats on Hulu.
Y'all. So for all the people that are into like 80s movies and like the time, y'all gotta watch it.
Pretty in Pink. We're talking Dirty Dancing, Footloose.
Yeah. The Brat Pack.
The Brat Pack.
That's the name of the documentary.
No, it's called Brats.
Oh, it's called Brats?
Yeah, it's called Brats.
It's about the Brat Pack. It was so good, y'all.
No, it was really good. Like literally, just talking about like, if you watched any 80s movie, you know the characters. There were like certain actors that were constantly reoccurring, like The Outsiders, the St. Elmo's Fire. We haven't seen that one, but whatever. They keep
Breakfast Club,
the Breakfast Club. It's like the same couple of actors, and if you weren't alive at that time, maybe you were and you just didn't know that they called them like the Brat Pack. Basically, this journalist wrote an article about them, called them the Brat Pack, and it kind of stuck on them. And even though, like, to the public, it was a funny name, it was a way to talk about all those actors without having to say all their names. It like destroyed a lot of their careers in Hollywood. Like, they couldn't get serious roles because people were like, oh, they're just brats. They're just young kids. All of them were in the early 20s, like acting, making so much money. And it's like, oh, we don't want to give them any jobs. Like, let's knock them down a peg. Like, we need serious actors. And, you know, a lot of them, some of them still came out, like Demi Moore. And Rob Lowe. But, you know, a lot of them, they couldn't get roles after that.
Which is, like, the most devastating thing ever. And also, I just feel like that raggedy man who wrote that scathing article about them.
He was 29. Writing a basically hate speech against 21 and 22-year-olds.
And also just for them simply existing.
Just because they
didn't even do anything
They
wrong.
weren't even, he didn't even meet half of them. He only met like 3. And he was hanging out with them and then gets back and types and it's like arrogant, annoying party goers. It's like,
it was a war on youth.
And then
it was a terror attack on youth.
To like get in their faces. Like the fact that the guy, one of the members of the Brat Pack is the one who did the documentary and he's like going to each of them, filming them, talking to them about it.
Andrew McCarthy.
Andrew McCarthy. And then he finally comes and talks to the guy who wrote the article. And that was their first time meeting. All these years later, literally 30 years after the article was published, that man couldn't even look at them face to face.
No.
In the interview, if you watch the documentary, you'll see like he was looking so like he was just such a coward.
Yeah, he was.
Like you ruined all these people's careers just because you were so jealous of them.
And you were so desperate to get higher up in your job
career.
And you never did anything.
And he's just like, well, I mean, you guys were adults. Like, I would have never said that about, like, young kids.
But then at the same time, kind of talks about himself as a child.
He talks about himself.
He's like, well,
I was just 29.
We all make mistakes.
They were just 22.
Oh, my gosh. You were their senior. And
you were 7 years older than them. Like, are you kidding?
It's so sad.
You're pushing 30.
But also, like, a good takeaway from this documentary was that, like, perspective is everything.
It is.
And you can literally choose, like, what you want to, like, literally make or break you.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, what was his name again?
Andrew McCarthy.
Andrew McCarthy, I feel like he talks about how he struggled really hard with, like, his own, like, how he's going to choose to, like, see himself and not wanting to be seen as, like, a brat or whatever, but how that didn't really work out for him in his, like, youth versus, like, a Demi Moore and
Rob
Lowe, they kind of like took it on the chin. They literally were just like, well,
if you're gonna call me a brat, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and then just like kept doing their thing. But it's like a lot of the other ones, obviously it hurt because they were trying to be serious actors at a young age when people were already looking down on them. They were like trying so hard to go in the opposite direction and prove to people like, I'm not a brat, I'm not this. And it just, they let it consume them and let it ruin them. And thinking of like, oh, everyone thinks of me this way. And everyone, you know, just, it was sad. It was really good, but it was also really sad.
It was really sad, but I feel like I'm better after watching it. It was really good. Yeah, it has me wanting to go watch 80s movies.
Yeah. Moving on to music. Should we move on to music?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, unless you have more... Oh, the White Lotus!
The White Lotus. We haven't mentioned the White Lotus. Oh my gosh. Not too much on that because...
We're only like episode 3.
Yeah, the season's still going on. And I think when this episode drops, the season might still be going on. Like, we might be just close to the season finale. Excuse me.
What do we think so far? What's your take?
Y'all can let us know how y'all feel, but me personally, and I feel like we've talked about this, it's just moving at a slower pace than the other seasons.
Definitely.
It's either, I don't know if it's that or if I'm just less interested in the storyline.
I think it might be that.
Yeah, I think it's both.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a mixture.
I think me personally, I'm Mook and Guy Talk.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
the most interesting people.
That's the most interesting people.
I have to agree. I think that their story is the most interesting. And I think like usually when they do the whole reveal, like there's a dead body in the beginning. Yeah. I think it's like you're so excited to try to figure out who that person is. Definitely for the second season. I was like, it could be anybody. Yeah. But I feel like with this season, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, and then especially I feel like maybe the other seasons because someone ends up dying. Like you actually kind of don't want to see a lot of the characters die. But I feel like for this season...
I don't have a connection to anybody besides Mook and her man.
Yeah. I feel like anyone can die.
Anyone can die, and I'm just going to be like, well, that was the story.
Well,
that's how it was supposed to go.
That's how it was.
I think that's what it is, though. When you don't have a connection to... Yeah. And I mean, it doesn't mean that I'm not interested. I definitely think I was way more interested in the other 2 seasons at this point. Because we're on episode 3. And so I feel like I was more interested at this point.
Yeah.
But I do feel like as far as like... you're watching rich white people do what they do, go to a place and exploit people. And I mean, just be oblivious to everything that's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still following that same direction.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what is going on with that family, the Southern family, but I don't want to see incest, y'all.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's leaning towards incestuous, which is very strange and very weird.
That's happening.
I don't want to see that, but also the dad. I don't know what, like we said, we're only on episode 3 while we're filming this. I don't know what he's finna do, but he's finna be on.
He's finna air this shit out.
He might be the shooter.
He might be, yeah.
Like at the end of the day, he's going through it.
Yeah, the level of stress, I literally cannot imagine, like, your world is crumbling and you're on vacation.
Your world is crumbling and your bonehead children
are
getting on your nerves and your wife is just popping pills. I think that's the worst thing that's happening to him right now. It's not just that he's losing his like business. It's the fact that his children are so stupid that they can't, like, he can't possibly share this news with his kids because they're dumb. And
they won't be able to help him in any capacity.
They can't.
They will only hinder him.
And for the people who think like, well, it's just the older son that's dumb. No, the daughter is equally as stupid.
Oh my gosh.
I think that
her and her fake Buddhist journey that she's on.
Those people it needs to click in their head that just because someone gives like sports jock energy doesn't mean that someone who's giving the complete opposite is any smarter than them.
Oh my god.
He just has a different philosophy on life.
Yeah.
Both of them to me are equally as doomed.
It's giving dunce.
It's giving dunce
all across the board.
All across the board. And then the youngest son is literally helpless to his siblings. So, and helpless at that. And the mom just refuses to stop being high all the time. So with that being
and
said,
she's also like encouraging like her drug addiction, like she's pushing it on.
She's pushing it on her husband.
It's actually so
like
strange.
He should at least, out of all people, be able to talk to his wife about this.
And he can't.
And
she's out of it.
Because she's in Louisville.
What is she going through?
She's in Louisville.
She doesn't have anything going on and decides to space out even more.
Yes.
She has all the time in the world to meditate.
To just be.
And she still doesn't want to even do that. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And don't even get me started about the friend group. I mean,
the one who is famous is going to sleep with that Russian instructor before the one who has the hardest life is able to. That's my prediction. She's going to do it, even though she's pushing the one with the short hair, like, oh, well, the one that lives in New York. That's what I call her. They keep pushing her like, oh, sleep with him. Like, you just got divorced. You need this. She's like building her confidence.
Her self-esteem.
And then she's going to see like the actress sleeping with him. And that's going to really.
And it's honestly, guys, I think it's a tale as old as times, but it is so important to like know who you're friends with, because someone who is really, really, really self-absorbed, they really do not want to see anybody else share the spotlight.
They don't.
I mean, it's just is what it is. I'm not, it's like not too much on that, but it's just what's
even her not being able to say like, oh, he said like my things were the highest.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he says that to everyone because he said it to me too.
Yeah.
Looking like, oh no, but he said
right.
Yeah,
like really? He said that to you? Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, girl, you're not the only skinny mini on this island.
Period.
That's really crazy that she even came for her in that way.
She thought she ate that.
I don't know. And all the passive aggressiveness in the friendship, I don't know how y'all do it. It's really strange to be friends with someone who takes slight digs at you 24/7.
And the one that just recently was outed as a Republican, come on,
and a Trumpy,
that was a shock.
Yeah, well, it wasn't that much of a shock. I guess if it were to be any of them, she kind of did fit.
I mean, but like we just didn't think that.
We didn't think it was going to happen because it's. Well, you get older and you can be friends with whoever you want, but I do think it leaves you questioning, at least by episode 3, what brings these 3 people together? I mean, they were friends in childhood.
But like, why continue to stay friends with these
Why
people?
keep the friendship if you all hate each other?
Literally.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Who else is in this story? That's it, right?
That's what.
Oh, no, the guy and Amy.
Talk about that.
I don't really care. I'm sure that they're going to end up being the center of this story.
Yeah.
I think whatever's going on with them and their backstory is going to be the most important. I just don't care.
Yeah, I don't care about them. He's annoying. I like her though, but he's like super annoying. And then of course the freaking guy who, the husband, what is his name? Gary.
Oh yeah, Gary, whichever one.
Gary, he's here. Like we don't know what's gonna happen.
Something's going to happen with him. I guess. I mean, sure.
They're just moving too slow. They're moving way too slow.
Yeah.
But okay. Music, and who knows if we're gonna get to books. Music. What have we been loving lately? One that we've both been loving. Foushee.
Love her right now. Oh my
Foushee
gosh.
most recent album, y'all. So good.
It's like the soundtrack of my life.
Oh my gosh, so good.
Why is it as good as it is? Oh
No,
my
she
God.
really.
No
What's
skips.
crazy is that I was not the biggest fan of Foushee before this album, because when she was featuring on Steve Lacy's and Ray Valentne's songs, they just weren't my favorite songs of theirs. So I was like, oh, like this is that girl that's on those songs that I don't really like. But listening to her by herself, her own stuff, amazing.
So amazing. It's so poetic. It's so. I feel like she is taking me where she wants to bring me, which is the islands. I feel like,
I'm right there with her.
I'm right there with you, girl. I feel like it's just really good. I haven't had an album that I could listen to with no skips in a really long time.
Yes.
So when you do come across something like that, it's like lock in. I will be listening to it.
It's so summertime.
It is. It's so summer coded. I really enjoy it. Flowers. Really good one. Rice and Peas is kind of like the one that I'm vibing to right now.
Yeah.
And Still Around.
Still Around, so good.
War. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, War, of course. But I also like Feel Like Home.
Really good.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's just like the whole album is just really good. She did her big
It's
one.
really good.
I've been listening to Who Are You Anyway, featuring Leon Thomas by Rory.
By who?
Rory. I sent that to you guys. I'm seeing that you never.
Oh no, I didn't.
It just came out last.
I don't
month.
remember you sending music lately.
I swear, I've been like sending things in the chat, but you remember you don't have Apple Music anymore, right?
I do.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
have it again.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try it one more time. I'm gonna try it again. Really good. It's just a really good bop, and it gives summer, spring, summer.
I love a good summer bop.
Yeah.
What about me? I've been listening to Bhad Bhabie's entire discography.
You know what's crazy? I've been really like slow to get around to her last album, which is insane. I know, because she dropped like 2 singles and I love them.
Bhad Bhabie's last album was so good that it made me dig into her entire discography.
Wow.
Because, I was a casual
get it on my phone.
listener of Bhad Bhabie.
Yeah.
Like, one song there, one song here.
Right.
Every now and then. You know, it wasn't like I was listening to... I was not listening to full albums.
Right.
That just wasn't happening. It was just like I would hear a song on Instagram or in passing. And be like, okay, well, I'll listen to that.
Right.
That album was so good. I had to double back. I was like, oh, then what about this album? And what about this
Stop.
album?
That's
and
so
it was all
funny.
good.
It was all good.
Whoa.
Yeah, she's kind of great.
She's really good. And I love that she's making like that early 2000 sound. She's committed. She's committed to it. And it actually sounds, some people say like, oh, I'm making like 2000s pop, or like I'm bringing back Britney or bringing back this or whatever. No, her music sounds like straight from 2006.
What's up with everyone trying to bring Britney back?
People just want a pop star for some reason, right?
I mean, it's not about that, though. I'm saying the pop stars themselves all call themselves Britney. They all go by Britney.
Because she was and is the pop star.
I'm not saying anything that there's anything wrong with Britney. I'm saying, don't you know that you can't be her?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
It's like...
that's what I don't understand.
Like, they're the next Michael. They don't say that, but I'm saying when people...
I know, and I think it's certain people that like you shouldn't say that to, though.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it actually should be only every blue moon that someone even utters that.
Yeah.
Because Michael Jackson's obviously passed, but I feel like with Britney, it's like someone trying to be the new Beyonce. Yeah. And to me, I feel like you will never be that person. Just be yourself. And I think all of these girls, we have a lot of them out right now. We have the Addison Rays, we have the Tate McRae's, we have... I don't know, there's like about 4 or 5 other pop girls out right now, genuinely, that are all kind of, like, look at how, like, Chappell Roan, look at how she came out. There is no one you can compare her to, really, because she decided to be herself, but she's pop.
But she's pop.
But notice how no one's calling her Britney.
I love Chappell Roan.
I love her down.
I forgot to add her to this list.
Love her down.
Chappell Roan? No, like, y'all, because we've talked about this.
Yeah.
I was so anti Chappell Roan when she first came out.
Yes.
And I hadn't seen her music or anything, heard anything. I think because of the amount that I was being forced to see her on social media,
I was still sick of her.
People were constantly talking about her.
Yeah,
and stuff. I'm like, who is this? Like, get this off my feet. I'm tired of seeing this.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm not going to listen to her music now because I'm upset. Now because I've got
now you
mad.
forced her on me.
Yeah, because I feel like this is being shoved down my throat. Listened to that album. First of all, it was just a song playing in a store for me. And I had to Shazam it. And I was like, this is Chappell Roan.
Which song was it?
It was After Midnight.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yes. And Anthropology. I was in Anthropology and it played. And I was like, well, maybe I'll listen to this one song.
As it does.
And then Lauren was like, no, you have to listen to the full album.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, she didn't miss. I think that is the one person that I am so surprised the internet was not wrong about.
Yeah.
She is absolutely iconic. She is a legend living right now, walking and breathing, and she will go down as that.
She will.
She doesn't even have to do anything else. No. What she's done was enough. She feeds the girls and the gays. Yeah. I feel like I really love her, and I feel like she is one of the pop stars out right now that's paving her own way.
She is.
And it's also kind of like, even though there are hints of like inspiration in her music, I don't know, like Queen, honestly, like any of the pop stars.
I really like a lot of 80s.
A lot of 80s synth, pop. But I feel like you know that she's inspired by it without it even coming close to her copying it. Yeah. It's not the same thing. Versus I feel like a lot of the other stars right now, we get it. You like Britney. We get it. You like Y2K. You want to wear the white shirts with the bras, the see-through bras. You want to, you know what I mean? Like you want to kind of do exactly what she did. But I'm challenging people to kind of be themselves. Yeah. I do think Addison is doing a good job at that, though.
It's literally so crazy the way I double back on her. I like what she's doing right now.
100%. 100%.
I really enjoy it.
I think that she's doing it, and with also her name on it. Honestly, and that's how I feel. Yeah. I think out of all of the 5 big whites out right now that are doing pop music, I feel like Addison Rae, in my opinion, is the one doing it best.
Yeah, that's just me. I mean, she's fitting my aesthetic.
Yeah, I think she's feeding.
Yeah, I like it.
I mean, she's definitely delivering something.
She is.
And each video is different than the last one, but it's also so interesting.
No, it's crazy because out of all the songs that she has now, the one that I didn't like the most is now the one I like the most.
Really?
When she first dropped Aquamarine, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't against it, but I was like, I guess. Literally love that song, girl. The world is my oyster.
Yeah. No, I'm in my room having a party.
I think it's because that's the one that you can vogue to.
You can vogue to.
And as I've been saying, love a little voguing.
Love a voguing and love a revamp and a rebrand. I feel like she did the nastiest rebrand of this century right now.
Yeah.
Of this century.
No, and she ate. She did eat. Okay. I already said all of that. Books that we're reading. I don't know what to talk about.
No, the thing is, like, I mean, you got a lot to talk about. I haven't picked up a single book that I bought.
Books that you want to read. I feel like I have challenged myself this year to read 1 book a month. It was 2 books a month when I first started, and I decided 1 book a month should be fine.
Yeah.
At least.
Yes.
I can read more than 1, but I need to at least read 1. So my book for January was Breast and Eggs by Meiko Kawakami. I hope you guys know her. If you don't, you need to read her. She's my favorite writer. Her and James Baldwin are going toe to toe right now.
That's crazy.
Her books are just so good. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe because a lot of her characters that she writes, she has 3 books. Heaven is about children, so not that one.
Yeah.
But literally, she has another one called All the Lovers in a Night, and both of the female main characters are writers.
Oh, that's
they're like
interesting.
in that industry.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe I just feel more connected to them. I don't know, but like the stories usually don't have anything about writing. Well, they mention it because that's the person to work, but like it's not necessarily revolving around writing. But I don't know. I just feel like the way she writes, I can picture it. It's like I wish this was a movie because it's a movie in my head.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like I can see every little thing that's happening. So 10 out of 10 for that book. I've known of it for so long, but I was just putting it off. And then the book for January, of course, Go Tell It on the Mountain, James Baldwin.
You mean February?
February, Go Tell It on the Mountain, James Baldwin. I didn't even mean to keep the James Baldwin for February for Black History Month, but it all
came together.
I haven't read like a Black book that I relate to as much lately and I feel like that's why I like James Baldwin's book, because I feel like I can relate to them more than like say a Toni Morrison book, which is crazy.
That's insane.
Because people feel like Black women, yes, Toni Morrison, but like, I don't know. When I read James Baldwin, I feel like I'm in that book.
Yeah, and I mean, period. You found your author.
Yeah.
It's what works for you.
It's what works for me, and I love that book down. I'm not finished yet, guys, even though it ain't February no more.
Yeah. No, you said we're doing it year round.
We're doing it
Being Black year round.
Yes. I really love it, and I love how the book touches on Christianity and like the Black sphere, like Black churches, not just like Christianity in general, and then just like everyone's experiences in the book are so interesting. So, highly recommend.
And I think that's valid. I think that's fair. I think that's valid. I have not read anything this year. Which is crazy. Guys, I was on like a reading kick last year, and I know that this is like probably not a lot to most people, but I definitely read at least 1 book a month.
Yeah.
I definitely was doing that. It was so much fun. I was going to a book club. I was like, this is it. I don't know. I think like this year, the beginning of the year, I started out with just like a crisis in the sense of like, I just felt like I needed to get my life together. And then I kind of put reading on the back burner.
Yeah.
And consequently, my screen time on my phone has gone up. So now I'm just like, okay, now I see if I'm not picking up a book, I will pick up my phone.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get back into reading. I'm going to read Heaven, which you just mentioned. I ordered it. It's on its way.
Yeah.
But there is a book that I just bought as well that I'm so interested in. It's called Everybody on This Train is a Suspect by Benjamin Stevenson. So he wrote a book that I read last year, which is called Everybody in My Family Has Killed Someone. Guys, when I say this book is so good, it will have you like literally seeing the movie or the show in your head as you read it. Like I already know what the characters look like.
Yeah.
It's so good and it's so entertaining. You can read it in a week. I literally read it in a week. It's like you don't even want to put it down. And then I turn over to the back of the book and realize it's being adapted into an HBO series.
An HBO series. That's how you know.
Oh my gosh, that's how you know he ate down.
Not a Tubi.
Not a Tubi. They said HBO.
And HBO.
They said it's serious.
Show.
It's serious. Not even Amazon.
Yeah.
HBO. I was like, wow, and I can't wait to watch it. But this one is a murder mystery train.
Of course, you love a murder mystery.
I love a murder mystery. I think honestly with the mystery, you kind of can't go wrong.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like even if I don't like want to click on a show that's a mystery, anytime one is playing in the background, it just gets your attention.
It does.
And it has that kind of factor of, now I have to just see it through to the end.
I have to focus.
It makes you lock in. Yeah. Now you just have to read it for reading's sake. I feel like it's really like...
just to see if your guess was right.
Just to see if your initial guess, and like to see the plots, twists, and the turns and all these things. I feel like that's a really good one to get me back into reading this year.
Yeah.
Because I do know, since I really like this author and I like the genre, I'm like, maybe this will like, catapult me back into 100%, because I have not... The other 2 books that I bought, I'm not even going to mention them until I read them.
Yeah.
But the other 2 ones that I got are more centered on love, which I do like love. Yeah. I like it. I like to read about it. So I don't understand why it's been hard for me to pick them up. I don't know. That ain't like me. Out of all the books that I read, I'm literally looking at them right now. I would say at least 60% were actually about love.
No, yeah.
So
you read a good love book.
I read a love book.
You love a good love book.
I love one. So I'm very shocked that like I haven't
My books are so like anti-romance. I be reading books and it's like, this woman hates her husband. My books are like about people who are just
going through it,
outskirts of society.
Yeah.
Not necessarily going through it, but like they live their life the way they want to.
I bet that makes it like way more interesting though. You don't always want like a cookie cutter, like you know exactly what they're about to give to you.
Yeah, but sometimes, like the one that I just recently got, I got a book called Strange Weather in Tokyo. It is a love book. But even with that, I get ones that are like odd in the sense of like she's dating a man 30 years older than her.
Okay.
That's literally like...
yeah, like there's something going on.
There's a twist.
There's a twist, yeah. It's not...
yeah. But yeah. Let's say Foushee.
No, I think that's... yeah, it's been real. This is really just like a quick update. We'll do a couple of these every now and then.
I feel like I feel like we should do a couple of these every now and then, but it's just to tell you guys, and then you guys can tell us in the comments what your favorites are, but like, just to get our recommendations out of the way.
Yes, and also form community.
Yes.
Like, let's chat, let's key about what we're watching.
Yes.
Let's talk about what we're reading. Like, I want to hear you guys' opinions and see if they're different from ours.
Yeah. Not if you read fantasy. Don't comment a single fantasy book. Well, maybe for you. I don't know if you.
I don't really read fantasy.
I don't want to read any fantasy, y'all. I'm just not no fantasy girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if it's sci-fi, then okay.
Sci-fi is good. Yeah. I don't really read fantasy. That's why I didn't get into that book that everybody was reading. Court of Thorn.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That one was like everywhere.
That had everybody in a chokehold, and they were going to make like a Hulu adaptation. I don't know if it got canceled.
I bet it's good, but it's just like I can't read it.
Oh no, I don't want to really read about like fairies screwing each other.
Isn't it like hard? The books where you open it up and it has like a map on the front, like a map in the first couple pages.
It's a lot of world building.
Oh my gosh. It's like you have to keep flipping back. Like, who from where?
No, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's already hard to watch.
Yeah.
So, and I don't like feeling confused. That's a big thing for me besides a murder mystery.
Yeah.
I don't like feeling confused in a different form of book that's not supposed to be confusing.
Yeah. No, not at all. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's that. We will see you guys in the next episode.
Yes.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.
Bye, guys.